So check it out. This is why you can never be late to Hex. Hex is designed to not only appreciate and value, but also provide yield, right? And these are two unique aspects of the system that are there to benefit you, the buyer of Hex. Fun fact, those of us that are already in the system don't actually benefit by anybody else entering, because the reality is that when you go on ahead, stake your Hex and get shares and then start earning yield, you're entering the pool that is only one size. So you're basically diminishing the ratio or the pro rata share that's going around to all the stakers already. And that's the beautiful thing about the system. It's designed ever so properly that even though new entrants come in and they do dilute the pool, it is not to the point where it's detrimental to your position, because you still have capital appreciation to augment that little offset that you get from people entering the system. Because the reality is when people enter, that means they're more than likely buying in most cases. So if you're entering with 500, 1,000, 5,000, $50,000, whatever the monetary value is, the system will always work the same for you with respect to your economic power. So whatever you bring to the table is what you bring to the table, no matter what, right? But this coin is going to compensate you properly with respect to your economic mass. No other coin is going to do that. They're just going to watch you hold it and be on the holders list, and that's it. This coin is going to pay you for holding it in crypto that goes up in value over time.
Yeah, Hex is the only coin that literally has to go down 40% per year consecutively for you to lose money.
Right. Think about that one.
You know, if you're staked for 10 years, it literally would have to go down 40% every single year for 10 years.
Check this out. This is great. I'm glad you brought this up. Check this out. At the end, because somebody asked me when's doubling, when's the next double? At the end of Big Payday, which previous to this point in time that we're living through right now, from September to now, that month of November, Big Payday was the biggest selling occurrence in Hex history, and we did 167x. We did 167x. People have been selling Hex for the past freaking 4 months like morons. And guess what?
They did before Big Payday too. They made that mistake before, and everybody that did it is sorely regretting it.
Oh, aren't they? So what do you think is going to happen once this rampage of selling ends and there is no more reason for sellers to sell? Because guess what? They sold everything. Because the buying's never stopped, right? Mm-hmm. The buying's never stopped. It's the dollar volume of the selling, because the sellers are horrible sellers. They're not even good sellers. But we care if you're a stupid fuck that doesn't know how to sell. Two different things.
Yeah, they're selling against themselves. They're putting themselves in a position where they are getting the least possible value out of what they're selling, and it's just. But it's what's learned behavior in the crypto space was get in, get out like hot potato. They don't, there's not been an asset that earns like Hex earns, and they don't know what they're tossing away because they're just going with old habits. It's unfortunate, and this will only last as people get more educated. I don't think they're viewing our content. I don't think they understand that there's any different. They're playing old games by old rules, and in those rules, that type of behavior is perfectly fine. But the game's changed, and Hex is like the only crypto that has a damn user's manual. They're throwing out the instructions, and they're trying to play the old game like they know it, right? And it's hard to get people into Hex because they don't want to read the rule book. They don't want to understand what EES means. They don't want to understand that, look, if you buy mining equipment, you're not getting that money back. Well, in essence, Hex, your initial buy-in is your mining equipment. People want to put a value on that, and they want to sell their business before their business has a chance to get off the ground. You don't do that. You know, in business, you're looking at a 5-year plan anyway before you're out of the red. And people in the crypto space, they want their money now. They want the scams. They want the quick return. They don't understand how to use a real financial product. And when they're faced with it, they're still trying to play it like.
This space is rife with landmines, and you cannot avoid them. If you don't know how to decipher, right, a scam from a non-scam, you're going to be calling things that are not scams.
Because
it's like anything else, you know, like even, you know, Richard was talking about jobs in the real world do not outperform crypto. You know, I'm still running my shop. I'm still buying product and reselling product. I can 2x all day. I don't need a Bitcoin to do that. Right. You know, so I mean, it's really not even a sell point for something that's going to do a 2x at this point. You know, you got to have something that's going to do better than that, because retailers, that's what we do. We 2x all day long. But you can't outperform just the yield that HEX does. It's actually kind of frustrating, you know, especially when you're producing things in the real world, and you know, you've got effort and time and a lot of stuff into that, supplies and costs and overhead, and this thing does everything all on its own, and all you have to do is just be patient, you know.